on the 5th of November 2024. Millions across all 50 states in the United States will vote to pick their next president. In the US, the winner is not the candidate who gets the most votes across the country, which is the popular vote. Instead, both candidates compete to win contests across the 50 states. But over years, electorates in some of these states have been good reflectors of the voting behavior of the entire country. These states are called the bellwether states. They tend to reliably match the countrywide outcome of the presidential election. So, candidates favored in the bellwether states mostly end up winning the election.
We want Kamala, yes we do!
These states are Ohio, Nevada, New Mexico, Florida, Colorado, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania. Let's begin with Ohio, the Buckeye State. It has historically been a bellwether state and continues to hold on to that status. The candidate who wins Ohio usually has a very good chance of spending the next 4 years in the Oval Office. The state holds the highest bellwether percentage at 90.9%. It has held that status for 14 presidential election cycles, across 60 years, from Lyndon Johnson's landslide win in 1964 to Donald Trump's victory in 2016. Ohio's choice won the Electoral College in every election. It held the longest streak of a bellwether state, until 2020, when the Buckeye State recorded its first miss. It gave a majority of its vote to then-incumbent President Donald Trump. The former president had an 8-point margin of victory in the state, but Trump still lost to Joe Biden in the national vote and Electoral College. Next is Nevada, the Silver State, and the only other state of all the bellwether states to compete with Ohio's record. Nevada shares the bellwether percentage with Ohio at 90.9%. Since 1976, Democratic and Republican candidates have won Nevada 6 times each, and the winner in Nevada has gone to the White House in 10 of the last 12 elections. But just like Ohio, Nevada too has had one miss since 1980. In 2016, Hillary Clinton won the state over Donald Trump, who won the presidential election.
Instead of taking charge that night, Hillary Clinton decided to go home and sleep. Incredible.
In 2020, the state was back to its winning ways, when Joe Biden carried the state. The state has just 6 electoral votes, but no presidential candidate ever been able to take the Silver State for granted, because it's also a swing state. The third is New Mexico. It has a bellwether percentage of 81.8%. Since the 1980s, it has only gone wrong twice in calling the election. In the year 2000, the state sided with Al Gore over George W. Bush, with a vote margin of just 366 votes.
I'm sure there's some people in this state that say, I don't like George W. because who his dad is. Very few are saying they don't like George W. because who my mother is, by the way.
In the year 2016, Hillary Clinton carried the state, while Donald Trump won the presidency. If we consider statistics from the year 1912, which is when New Mexico became a state, then the number of misfires for New Mexico goes up to 3. In 1976, New Mexico picked the incumbent Gerald Ford, but Democrat Jimmy Carter won the presidency. Fourth bellwether state is Florida. The Sunshine State also has an impressive record. With an overall bellwether percentage of 81.8%, Florida has only gotten it wrong twice since 1980. Once in 1992, when it voted for incumbent George H. Bush, and Bill Clinton won the presidency.
I, William Jefferson Clinton, do solemnly that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
And in 2020, when the state voted red backing Donald Trump, but Democrat Joe Biden swept the presidential election. Next is Colorado. The Centennial State is also high on the list of bellwether states. Colorado's bellwether percentage stands at 81.8%. This state too has had 2 misfires in the last 43 years. Like Florida, Colorado too backed George H. Bush in 1992, and the state voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016, but Donald Trump pulled off a massive upset. Sixth is New Hampshire. The Granite State shares its bellwether percentage with Colorado at 81.8%. The two misses on its record are from the year 2004 and 2016, when incumbent President George W. Bush won a second term in office, but New Hampshire picked Democrat John Kerry. And in 2016, when the state threw its weight behind Hillary Clinton.
Thank you so much!
The seventh and last on the list is Pennsylvania, the Keystone State. It also a bellwether percentage of 81.8%, but the state had back-to-back failures in the year 2000 and 2004. It rejected George W. Bush in 2 consecutive presidential elections, voting for Al Gore in the year 2000 and John Kerry in 2004. Pennsylvania chose blue, but Bush left it red-faced. With 19 electoral votes, Pennsylvania is also a swing state. The United States also has 19 bellwether counties across 50 states. From 1980 to 2016, these 19 counties have voted for the winner of the presidential election every single time. In fact, Valencia County in New Mexico has had the most impressive feat. It has been voting for the winner since 1952. But the 2020 presidential election was a blot on their record. 18 out of the 19 bellwether counties got it wrong that year. They voted for former President Donald Trump. They backed him not marginally but in huge numbers. But Joe Biden won the presidency. The only one whose record was intact was Clallam County in Washington, that voted for Biden. So which way will these counties and states go this November? Will they help Donald Trump return to the Oval Office?
From the day I take the oath of office,
Or will they ensure Kamala Harris scripts history by becoming the first female president of the United States?
It was the same old show. Same old tired playbook we've heard for years.
On November 5th, as voting gets underway in America,
A quick reminder. Vote.
all eyes will be on these 7 bellwether states and the 19 counties to indicate which way the wind is blowing.